Get ready for the Disney afternoon. Yeah! Hey everyone, welcome to the ranking, and welcome to my ranking for all of the Disney afternoon TV shows. Yes, if you're all wondering, all you really young people out there, what the hell is the Disney afternoon? I'll tell you. Disney Afternoon was a program, mostly in the United States, but it did come over to Canada. It was a program from the late 80s to the early 90s, and it was a Disney program on, it was a bunch of cartoon TV shows that ran, all these Disney cartoon TV shows and stuff, and they ran throughout the afternoon, because it was basically made for kids to watch after they came home from school and stuff. It ran from almost 3 to 5 o'clock, and a bunch of different shows, a bunch of different days. It was from Monday to Friday, and it was called the Disney Afternoon. And again, I grew up with the Disney Afternoon. I grew up with all 13 of these shows. Yes, there were a few short TV shows that were on the Disney Afternoon, but for this ranking, I'm only including the major shows that were on the Disney Afternoon. Again, I grew up with all these shows, the bad ones, the good ones and stuff. I grew up with a lot of other things too, like a lot of superhero shows, like Batman and Superman, X-Men and Spider-Man and all that stuff, but those were mostly on either in the morning or later at night. When I came home from school, I watched the Disney Afternoon, and I freaking loved it, and I'm here to rank all the Disney Afternoon shows from my least favorite to my favorite. There's 13 of them. If you haven't heard any of them, give them a watch, because most of them, not all of them, but most of them are pretty damn good. So yeah, here's my ranking of the Disney Afternoon shows from my least favorite to my favorite. Alright, coming at number 13 is Quack Pack. Yes, I feel like quacking, so I think I will. Quack Pack. This is probably the dumbest fucking show on the Disney Afternoon. Even when I was a kid, I loved all these shows. This one, I always knew it was absolute duck shit. This is such a dumb show. It's got the Huey, Dewey, and Louie, their Uncle Scrooge and stuff. It's a bunch of these young, cool, hip, radical kids that live with their uncle, but they're too cool for the uncle. And basically, it's about these three kids, and they go on these wacky adventures. One episode's just them reading comic books. One episode's when they get superpowers. One of them is when they have to go to the arcade. It's all these, really boring scenarios, very generic scenarios, and these characters are the most douchiest, very unlikable characters, just these hip kids that, stick it to the man and stuff, and my god, this show, all they would try to do was try to be cool and hip, and it was just really douchey, really stupid, and even as a kid, I hated it. Come number 12 is the Snookums and Meet cartoon funny show. Yes, Snookums and Meet was another, again, you're probably thinking, what the fuck is Snookums and Meet? Really dumb show, really dumb show. It tried to rip off Ren and Stimpy, Garfield, and Looney Tunes all at once, and it was an utter failure. It really tried to copy the bizarre, weird style of Ren and Stimpy, and Ren and Stimpy mastered that style of animation. It's fantastic. I love that show. Great show. This one is just so annoying, so unlikable, just so unfunny. These characters have the most annoying voicing. The voice actors were all awful in the show. The scenarios, the slapstick was so not funny. They try to be slapstick like Looney Tunes, but trippy like Ren and Stimpy, but have that likability like Garfield, and it failed across the board. It was just a really stupid show. Coming number 11 is Bonkers. Yes, Bonkers. I hated this. Even when I was a kid, I didn't like Bonkers. I found Bonkers really annoying. Even when I was a kid, I'm like, my god, I hope Bonkers dies in the last episode or something. Because Bonkers is a ripoff of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But it's a cartoon. Like in Roger Rabbit, it's real people blending with the cartoons. This is cartoons blending with cartoons. But they're hunting tunes. But they're cartoons! It's not, unique or fresh. It's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but all a cartoon. It's about a cop who teams up with Bonkers, who's this fucking toon, and they, hunt other toons down and try to save other toons, and they don't even have the rights to all the toons. You see Dumbo in one episode, Mickey in one episode, and that's it. It's this really, really unoriginal, really unfunny show, and Bonkers is probably the most irritating character they ever put on the Disney Afternoon, and this show, just so annoying. Coming number 10 is the Mighty Ducks. Yes, the Mighty Ducks, it's not about the actual Mighty Ducks movie, and it's not about the actual hockey team. It's literally about a bunch of ducks that are on a planet that's full with hockey, and it's got meteors like hockey pucks. It's a really dumb science fiction show, and yeah, it's really boring too. It was actually really generic. I didn't mind it as a kid. I even had a few of the action figures, but it's a really dull, very generic show. The only thing that I liked about it was Tim Curry as the villain, and Tony Jay. That's it. They weren't very interesting villains, but the voice acting, my god, it was just awesome to hear Tim Curry and Tony Jay together. Pretty awesome, but the show itself, very generic. Coming number 9 is Goof Troop. Goof Troop is another one, like Quack Pack. It just tries to be cool and hip and radical, and just, it's not funny, it's not interesting, it's not compelling, and again, it's not funny, and kids are not gonna just watch a show. Well, some kids are that stupid. They won't just watch a show because it's cool and shit. Like, I didn't watch Recess because it was cool. I watched Recess because it actually talked about real problems kids are having, and it was also funny and enjoyable. That's why I liked Recess and Kim Possible and stuff. But, like, this show was just really immature and very juvenile and just not at all worth it. The only thing I liked about it was the main character, Max, his best friend. His best friend was an awesome character, and his family were more interesting characters than the actual Goofy family. The Goofy family were just really boring characters. I'm not a big Goofy fan. I never really watched a lot of Goofy cartoons. I don't even like really the Goofy movie all that much. So this show really didn't interest me, and I didn't really find it all that enjoyable. It's not bad, but it's just not that great. Coming number 8 is Aladdin. Yes, Arabian Nights like Arabian Day. Okay, I'll stop. Aladdin. I love Aladdin. I even don't mind the Aladdin direct-to-DVD sequels. They made a show in 1992, I think. It might have been earlier, but this was an okay show. I loved this show as a kid. It doesn't quite hold up as of now. Like when I'm older, I watched the show a few years ago, and I'm like, ooh, God, this really wasn't as good as I thought it was. When I was a kid, I loved it, because I loved Aladdin so much. But this show, yeah, like Jasmine is not very interesting, and the magic carpet doesn't even do funny, cool things. Dan Castellaneta is the genie instead of Rob Williams, and he's not very funny. Aladdin's the only one that's very interesting in the show, and his adventures and stuff are pretty interesting. Some of the new characters, like Avi Small and Mirage, they're pretty cool characters, but all in all, the rest of them are pretty forgettable. The animation's nothing that spectacular. It's a fine show, like, it's great for kids, because I loved it as a kid, but as of, like, it's just an Aladdin show, because Aladdin's so good, it's not that great, but it's not bad. Coming number 7 is Timon and Pumbaa. Yes, Hakuna Matata, Timon and Pumbaa. This is very easy to talk about. It's fine. When I got home from school, this show was always like half over. Like, I only watched like the last half of it because when I came home, it was like 3:30, and this was like always the first one to put on the Disney afternoon, and honestly, it's fine. Like, if you love Timon and Pumbaa, you'll probably love this show. I find Timon and Pumbaa okay characters, and I find the show okay. Coming number 6 is Tailspin. Yes, Tailspin is a spin-off of Jungle Book. Yes, you know Blue the bear? Now he's got his own show, and he's a pilot of a ship. It's ridiculous. This show is so weird, so ridiculous, and it kind of works, actually. Blue, the kid character, all these characters are actually very enjoyable characters. The villain is one of my favorite villains in the Disney Afternoon program. He's so great and over the top. He's almost kind of like, he almost should be like in The Princess Bride. That's how over the top he is. It's a great show, actually. It's weird, bizarre, and doesn't make sense, but it's a great kid show. Coming number 5 is The Adventures of Gummy Bears. Yes, Gummy Bears, bouncing as they load. Wait, that's not how the lyrics go. Fuck, I forget the lyrics. All I remember is Gummy Bears. Very over-the-top opening. I love it, though. It's great. This is about actual talking gummy bears in this forest, you know, rescuing people in this medieval time, trying to defeat the head villain guy. I forget his name. I don't really know this show very well. I watched a bit of it when I was a kid, but then I kind of didn't like it because I found it too childish, but As of now, when I watched a few episodes now when I got older, it's actually kind of a cute, innocent show and stuff. And yeah, they drink this thing called gummy berry juice that gives them powers, bouncing powers and stuff. It's really silly and weird and kind of trippy. And again, when I was a really young kid, I didn't mind it, but then when I got older, I didn't like it. I'm like, oh, it's so childish. But now, when I got older and I recently watched it, it's kind of adorable. It's a very cute little show. It's nothing great, but it's very cute and kind of enjoyable. Coming number 4 is Darkwing Duck. Yes, Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck. Yes, this is like a superhero sort of show, but Darkwing Duck, who always narrates everything he's doing, and it's really enjoyable. Again, it's just a great superhero sort of show. It's about this duck who becomes a superhero. He has his sidekick and stuff. Basically, he's there to save the day and stuff, and he's kind of a bumbling moron at times, but that's what makes him so lovable and enjoyable and stuff. And again, I really love the side characters. They're really great characters. There's even some pretty cool action scenes, and it's a very adventurous, very fun show, and definitely a great show for kids to watch. I loved it as a kid, and I still love it now. Coming number 3 is Chip 'n Dale the Rescue Rangers. Yes, Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers. This was the first show I watched on the Disney Afternoon ever. This is the one that introduced me to the Disney Afternoon. It was Chip 'n Dale the Rescue Rangers. Fantastic show. I love this show. I love Chip and Dale, Fat Cat, Monroe Jack. They're all great characters. I love these characters. I love its animation style. Very good animation. I love how adventurous and fun, enjoyable, funny, comedic it is. Every episode always has a message. They talk about actually very mature themes like addiction, puberty, even cults. It's a very mature show for a kid show, and it is very kid friendly, but it's also very adult friendly as well. And it's just great. And I love that Chip and Dale are actually, characters that are supposed to be kind of like a Magnum P.I. and Indiana Jones. They even dress like Magnum P.I. and Indiana Jones, and it's pretty funny and enjoyable. And yeah, I love this show. It's a great show. Coming number 2 is DuckTales. Yes, DuckTales. Woo! There's also a movie, an animated movie that came out in the 90s. Great film. This is just so freaking good. The opening's amazing. The story's fantastic. But Scrooge McDuck and his nephews going on these adventures. It's kind of like an Indiana Jones of TV shows. It's so great. I love it. I love these characters. I love this show. I love the story. I love the side characters like the Robo Duck and stuff. It's so hilarious. It gets weird. It gets strange. There's actually even a few crossovers with Darkwing Duck, which is great. I love this show. It's such a great kid-friendly show, but it's also great for adults. And my number 1 favorite show on the Disney Afternoon is Gargoyles. Yes, Gargoyles, everyone knows, this is actually one of my favorite TV shows, favorite cartoons, and of course, my favorite on the Disney Afternoon. This is the only show on the Disney Afternoon that was really dark, really atmospheric, and really freaking edgy. When this show first came on, I think it was in the early 90s, I was blown away by this show. Yes, DuckTales was always sort of my favorite, but Gargoyles, even the more older I got, I just loved Gargoyles even more. I collected the action figures, I had the posters, I had everything Gargoyles. I loved Gargoyles. I loved the characters, the story, the intense action, the grittiness. There's actually a bit of grittiness in this G-rated kid show, and it's so well done. The mythology of it, some of the weird thought-provoking scenes in the show were really good. For a kid show, it was really heavy, really smart, really dark, and just really fucking awesome and badass. And yeah, hands down, the best show on the Disney Afternoon. So yeah, that was my ranking of all the TV shows on the Disney Afternoon. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, are you familiar with the Disney Afternoon, and what are your thoughts and opinions on the Disney Afternoon, and what is your ranking of all these TV shows from your least favorite to your favorite? Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.